what the U.S. didn't realize, the reason why the U.S. failed, along with other empires, and they had the reputation of being the graveyard of empires, is because in order for Afghans to stabilize and develop as a political civilization, they first have to be granted the stability to develop. And decades of constant warfare hinder their stability, obviously. That gives rise to the conditions that the Taliban is there to represent and protect the traditional values of Taliban society, and that's what the Taliban is all about. And was then birthed to a reaction of the communists of the 1980s, the 1970s, the 1978 coup of the People's Democratic Party that were trying to modernize and industrialize Afghanistan to develop into a stable political entity like every other country in the world. And as a result, they were caught in Cold War politics in the midst of the decline of communism, in the midst of the decline of the Soviet Union that gave birth to the rise of the reactionary Taliban. So this is very good that Afghanistan is now in a position where they have to start developing and modernizing in order to integrate themselves into the rest of the world, and thus will weaken the Taliban's power and status and purpose within Afghanistan over time. This is what I wanted all along. This is why the war should have never happened, because the U.S. was destined to lose from the very beginning. Those were the conditions that gave rise to the Taliban. You cannot defeat the Taliban through war. You can only defeat the Taliban through development, through soft power, through stability, through wealth, internal wealth of a growing Afghan middle class. That's the only way. Not just the Taliban, but across for any country for that matter.